Hey champs out there, this is Adyashere. I am here again to give you guys some juicy tips on how to better yourself, how to come to love yourself, knowing who your identity is, and having better relationships with yourself and other people. Today we're going to be talking about why your relationship didn't work. Stay tuned, honey. That I have gone through that has helped me and has also helped others, and I want to make sure that we are all supporting each other. And if it was wrong, they find another way to justify why they did it. And they will do it in a way to manipulate you to side with them today. Today, what I need you to do is focus on how I can validate my own damn self without me feeling like I need to find someone else to do that validation for me. That's what, yes, champion. When I say love yourself again, you may have never even explored it.
It's very, very, very powerful. Is that there is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. You need to understand specifically.
Hey champs out there, this is Adyashere. I am here again to give you the real with the love. I am here again giving y'all some more information on how to just live a better life and just be kind to yourself and be kind with other people. So today we're going to be talking about why your relationship isn't working, or maybe your relationship has already ended. So I want to give you guys some information on the why to the whys. I got a few that I'm going to mention, and I'm sure that there's plenty of information out there that's going to tell you why your relationship didn't work. But as I'm working with many champions, and of course you guys know I am a transformational coach, and I focus a lot on relationships and the person's identity. So I really focus on a person knowing who they are and having a relationship with themselves and learning how to have a better relationship with other people. So let's get right to it. So here's one thing I'm going to say. The information that I'm going to give you is take it or leave it. This is something that I share. I love helping folks, and I'm just going to give you some real information that I know for sure that has helped other people to take the next step in learning how to push themselves and challenge themselves more as a person, and also challenging themselves in a relationship with another person. Now, when I talk about relationships, I mean relationships such as a marriage, an intimate relationship such as a marriage, a boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe something like dating. You have some type of intimate, close, attached relationship with someone and it's not working. It may not even it doesn't necessarily have to be an attached relationship. It could be a fairly new relationship, but it is an intimate one, meaning that you are spending some time with this person, or this person is in your space and you are also in that person's space. So I want to make sure that I clarify what I mean. I'm not talking specifically around friendships, because those are also relationships, or family relationships. I'm talking more about those intimate relationships that you have with a significant other, or your SO, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is that you guys are calling yourselves. So first thing first, here's one reason why I'm going to say this. You are not being upfront. They are not being upfront. So what I mean by that is that when I say that you're not being upfront, or they are not being upfront, meaning that there are some things that are not being addressed. And the person in a relationship, I'm going to say, for an example, if I'm in a relationship with someone and I am dating him, or he's my boyfriend, or he's my husband, or whatever it is that I want to call him as, whatever his title is, whatever you guys call yourselves together. If I know for sure that I'm dating someone and I'm really not feeling that person, I'm not really attracted to that person I thought I was, and I'm just not really being honest, I'm not being upfront. I'm not being real. And I'm just going with the motions. And here's the thing of what's going to happen. Every time something happens, it's going to distance you, make you more distant, even more from that person, is because you're not being true to yourself. And I'm going to be, and here's another thing is, when we're not doing that, we're not being fair to the other person either. So being upfront is one of the most important things when you have a relationship, so you can know how to move forward in the relationship. If you're not really laying things out as what your needs are, and that person is not doing the same for you, you guys are just going to be, going in many circles, and it's just going to separate you even more. And that's because you're not being 100 with them, or they may not be 100 with you. Unless you are upfront with a person, and this could be something that could be bothering them or could be bothering you. You may be irritated. They may also be irritated with you. That still goes with being upfront with them. If this is not happening, you are going to find yourself even more detached from this person. So, number 2, I will say this. Force and control. Force and control. I cannot stress this enough. When you are in a relationship with someone, if you are in a relationship with someone, please listen to me, champion. You cannot force them to do anything. They cannot force you to do anything. If you are finding yourself in a relationship with someone and you're noticing that there is some forcing, there is some type of control issue, that needs to be nipped in the bud, because that's also going to draw the detachment away from you, or the other person's going to detach themselves from you. That force and control stuff does not work. You may even hear men being more attracted to women that like to take control. Over time, that alone becomes very draining, and the vibe is off, the energy is off. Just be careful with that. If you're a control freak and you're a person that likes to take the initiative and like go right into it and jump right into it, try to minimize that, because sometimes when we are a person that likes to have control over everything, we start to lose control of the relationship. So you want to make sure that you are taking a step back to see, like, listen to what this person is saying to you. Are you noticing that you are forcing this person to continuously do something that they don't want to do, or are you the type of person that likes to control and manage everything and not giving the other person an opportunity to share their ideas? Or you may just do something without them even knowing, because you just like to have a control over everything. When I hear that, I hear some other underlying issues with people that like to just have a control. Sometimes if you are a controlling person, there are some things there that you feel like you are in fear of. You're in fear of something happening, so you may feel like you need to have control over something. And that could be your relationship. That can also cause a detachment and why a relationship doesn't work as well. The third one is also, I would say this again, is the expectation piece. Be careful with that. When I say expectations, I do mean expectations. Sometimes we try to when we go into a relationship, we are, at the beginning of the relationship, it's just so beautiful. All you see is this gorgeous person, this beautiful person physically, you're connecting with this person emotionally, and you guys are just head over heels with each other. That's usually the honeymoon phase. You guys are familiar with that. With the honeymoon phase, it means that, at the very beginning, it's really good. But sometimes we come into the relationships being unrealistic, and we have these expectations that are too high, or the expectations are too low. Now, here's an example. One thing I would like to share is that when you start off in a relationship, you may notice that there may be less tension and less arguments and less distractions, less of anything, and everything that maybe that you're getting in this relationship, or you got in that relationship at the very beginning, is just very uplifting. It's super energized. Your vibe is just connecting. Your energy is connecting, and maybe now you're noticing that the energy is way off. We're not connecting. We're just not connecting. I guess I would say that we are detaching. Even unwillingly and unknowingly, we may not be noticing that these things are happening. When you have expectations, we need to first check and see what those expectations are that we are having towards other people. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you may be very used to a person doing these things for this amount of time, and when they stop doing that, they may be calling you every day, right? They may be calling you every day, calling you every morning on the way to work. You may be calling them on the way to work. They may send you flowers every week, or you may be doing stuff for your man and he may be doing stuff for you, or whatever it is that you guys are doing. You have gotten accustomed to that. And when that happens, You know, we love it. We love the feeling. And when it stops, we expect that those things are supposed to happen. That's not, relationships don't have manuals to them. Those things probably have happened at the earlier phase of your relationship, and you may still be expecting those things to happen. Now, I will tell you this, is that when these things aren't happening, do not panic and feel like this is the end of my relationship because I don't think this person loves me anymore, or this person is out the door. We need to check that, because sometimes we start to put pressure on other people because we have our expectations too high, or we get accustomed to something that we think is going to happen all the time. A person does not have to bring you flowers every day for them to love you. They don't have to call you every morning to acknowledge you. Give it time, but lower your expectation. And if you are doing this to the person and continuously expecting these things to happen, they're going to be out of the door because it's putting pressure on them, because they feel like they need to do these things all the time. They don't have to do these things all the time. They really don't. But we have the expectation that we do. Or sometimes I would say this. If we are having issues with ourselves, and if we are expecting the person in a relationship to do certain things that they don't do all the time, we need to think about how many times does this person need to prove themselves to me. Now, that could be an issue with you and not with the other person, because here we are with the expectation part again. We are now still expecting this person to do all these different things to prove themselves to us. When actuality, you need to prove yourself to you, because the relationship that you have with yourself is very, very important. Because if you don't really find yourself loving yourself, you're going to put the pressure on someone else to do the loving for you. Don't do that. And my last one, obviously, and I want to make sure I'm staying on task, is another thing I will say is a really big one. And my last one is only focusing on the negative. So if you are in a relationship with someone, and if every time that they do something, you're only focusing on what they're not doing, that's going to detach the person too. And it's going to detach you. Why? Because your mind is consumed with negativity. So I want you to think about that. It's consumed with negativity. I don't want you to feel like just because you are in a relationship with someone that when they mess up, right? If they mess up, don't call them out on all the bull stuff all the time. Think about some of the things that they are doing right. If we focus on all the wrongs, how pitiful that person may feel when they're not being acknowledged for the things that they actually do right. You know, even now, in a relationship, sometimes we have our expectations too high, and when that person doesn't meet our expectations, we automatically judge them. We judge them because of what they're not doing, but let's focus on the things that they are doing. If this person is still giving you love, still there, still being there, still supporting you, doing what they can to help you, let's not focus on the negative all the time. And if we find ourselves focusing on the negative all the time, we'll start to judge that person for way more than what they should be judged for. And if we are doing that, that's negative energy. Arguments are going to happen. Why? It's because you're calling out that person's faults too much. And if that person is doing that to you, you don't have to allow those things to happen. So whoever this video is for, if this video is because you're wondering why your relationship isn't working, maybe you are doing this to someone in a relationship, or maybe that person is doing those things to you. What I want you to do is take into consideration of the things that I have mentioned and just think about them. Think about what I can do better, or what that person can do better. I'm not giving you any information that I wouldn't take for myself. At the end of the day, it is your choice. At the end of the day, it is also that person's choice on whether they want to continue the relationship. I advocate, if you want to continue your relationship, is to think about the things that I have just mentioned in this video, and, you know, start to meditate and start thinking about how I can change some of those things. You guys know I do this work all the time. I really want to help you. And if you don't really know how to change some of the programming that you have in a relationship, then let's work on your identity and building a relationship with yourself, building, understanding your beliefs and what beliefs you have that you are now bringing into the relationship. That's kind of your belief may be on this side of the spectrum, while this person's belief may also be on the other side of the spectrum. I want to help you. Reach out to me. You guys know, please bug me. Please bug me. I want to help y'all to have better relationships with yourselves and learn how to have better relationships with other people, specifically the people that are playing a huge role in your life and the ones that you truly want in your life. This is Adyashere. I am so happy to be with you guys today. You guys be blessed, and reach out to me at Adyashere@unmutingme.com, or just put some comments at the bottom. If there are some things that you want to share in the that you have questions about, put them in the comments below, because I want to be able to help you. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone that may be dealing with this. You guys be blessed.